I'm going to give you a 4-step process that will guarantee that by the end of this video, you're going to be able to attract the right people in your life. That's crazy, right? Well, let me share why I can help you. So my name is Dole, and I'm a married man who, prior to being married, discovered a 4-step process which I'll be sharing with you for free that allowed me to date any woman I wanted. And this isn't because, yes, I'm good looking, yes, I worked on my physique, but things weren't always like this. I actually had a very, very bad start. In fact, let me share my story with you. So I grew up desiring that my wife and kids type of love. You know, Michael Cow coming home to his wife, maybe not so much cussing his firstborn, but you get the gist. And I had an interesting childhood. You know, my dad was an example, both as a great man and as a great husband in 2 different marriages. One where things didn't work out and one where things did, and he's been together with my mom ever since. Despite this example, my journey was different. At the age of 13, after gathering the courage that I built up in 2 years, I was friend-zoned by my first crush. It sucks. Don't worry, it gets worse. At the age of 15, I have moved to the UK, brand new country. I'm this fresh kid off a boat and I'm surviving. And thanks to football, I just about hold on to my dear reputation. But for what it's worth, I knew I needed leverage. So what do I go and do? I find the hottest girl in the city. And I asked to be my girlfriend. And surprisingly, she actually said yes. So for 3 weeks, I am living like a king. You see, men will judge you by the woman standing right next to you. You could be the ugliest guy ever, but if you got, you know what I'm saying? The creme de la creme right next to you, you've got something going. You got something's working somewhere. Whether it's money, finances, physique, you name it, something's working, right? Because why would they be with you otherwise? It's a competitive market. So I understood that at the age of 15. And she broke up with me. She broke up with me because I wasn't able to provide the ideal scenario she wanted, which was a family scenario, at the age of 15. She wanted me to have, I guess, the stability that I wasn't never going to be able to provide for her at the age of 15. So not long after that, she moved on with a guy that was twice my age. And I'm not going to ask what he's doing with a secondary school kid, but that is an answer he has to answer himself. So, you thought that was it, huh? It gets worse. At that same age, I meet this girl, we get along, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is it. You know, after dealing with the heartbreak that shatters you, heartbreak that tells you to call in sick in school because your heart is too heavy. That was the type of heartbreak I was going through. And just when I thought things were getting just about back into some sort of normality, meet this girl, and guess what? She actually was interested in someone else. But I guess she was just playing the game, not sure what her intentions were. But I surprised her. I said, you know what, I'm going to go to the school and I'm going to say, you know what, listen, I'm going to surprise you. And I'm going to be this excited kid that's come to surprise his to-be girlfriend. You know when you want to propose, but it's too early because it's only technically been a week, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to stand here and act like it's just me. So, I go to the school and I happen to have some mutual friends because we all play football together. And I get to the chicken shop. So the chicken shop is the main space where everybody gathers after school. And guess what happens? She's with someone else. The question is, did she acknowledge me? She did. She looked. And she looked away and walked off. So when I now say that it gets worse, I can give you more and more stories, alright? But it gets worse and worse. But I realized that something wasn't working. I just didn't understand it. I saw the gap. I was like, I want Michael Cowell and I want my wife and kids love. I seen what my parents have done. What's going on with me? Something was wrong somewhere, and I had to figure it out. A lot of us do this thing where we want to blame the market. The market's terrible, women are horrible, and don't get me wrong, I've seen my fair share. You've heard my story, right? And that's just some of the fears. I'll give you even another one. I'm into this girl, but she's into my friend, and my friend's into her. But they just don't want to have that discussion, so they just have to keep it as friendship until I decide to distance myself, and I find out they got that together. I think that was the straw. That's when I said enough is enough. I'm tired of being taken advantage of. Oh no, it got worse. My ex-girlfriend. I had to call her 3-4 times before she picked up the phone. I had to double text her. So when I tell you that my failure has qualified me to help you, please believe me. Because although this is how my story started, that's not how things actually went for me. Things got much better. Things turned around. And it was due to this one secret I'm going to share with you right now. And that one secret is I started focusing on myself. You see, when you focus on yourself, or when you look at you as the problem, then you're responsible for fixing it. But when you look at everything else, the market, the girls, finances, every single problem that's outside of you is something that you simply can't fix. But there's a quote that my dad always says to me and shares. God helps those that help themselves. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because actually, if you get into a space where you can actually, which is what I did, decided to, do you know what? I'm done giving everyone else the responsibilities for my problems. I'm going to focus on fixing my problems. And that starts by looking at myself and seeing what I can fix. All right? I had to grab some tea. Your values are your foundation of who you are. You see, once I broke up with my ex, which was my last straw, I then decided to realize that there's some things that I don't know about myself. There's some things I don't know who I am. And this is the problem. We all want love, but we don't understand how love works. If you don't know who you are, how do you expect someone else to know that? You need to be able to be in a position to explain your strengths, your weaknesses, or eventually why you're going to act crazy sometimes. But if you lack self-awareness, how is someone going to be able to come into your life and be able to help on that, right? So what I mean by understanding who you are, the reason why this is so important is because once you are able to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, your likes, your dislikes, you're able to cut out a very large market, which includes roughly around 8 billion people. Do you like men? Do you like women? I know in 2024 is a question that needs to be asked, surprisingly. Do you like girls that party, girls that don't party? Do you like going out? Do you not like going out? So these are all questions that you need to ask yourself so that you can identify who aligns with those things too. So the reason why this is such an important step is because, for instance, in my story, once I identified who I was, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to deal with someone that takes too long to reply. So when I'm dating, I'm like, I'll cut out the opportunity for you to be someone that delays the response, because I'll just simply either call you or just whilst I'm texting you, I'll literally just say, hey, listen, let's meet up in the text. So I literally created no space for a delayed response to be something that I had to deal with, because I don't deal well with delayed responses. I don't like texting, right? And the reason why I don't like texting is because it takes me too long to text. I'm not a fast texter. That's not me, right? So it's a time-consuming activity for me. So what happens for me is I now realize, okay, I'm a slow texter, so therefore set a time for us to meet or call me. And then based on that, I cut out so much crap. Okay, so understand who you are. Number 2, set your boundaries. Now, as I explained to you in my story, once I was able to set my boundaries, everything changed. You see, think about it this way, your life is like a open and closed door. People come in and people go out. Setting your boundaries allows you to be in charge of whether you should open the door or not. So when you open the door, you let someone in that aligns with your boundaries. When you don't open the door, you're saying to that person, hey, I'm sorry, I can't let you in because we don't match. You are crazy. You are whatever the case is. I can't have that in my personal space, right? So when people are now coming in, it's like, you're not welcome. You can't be. And you find out that women actually respect that a lot more than they do you just pretending to be this nice kid that, hey, it's okay. You're the first person I've had in 6 years, so I'll tolerate whatever you give me. You set your boundaries, and the reason why you're going to set your boundaries is because one of the key things is understanding the wave of value energy. Now, with women and the feminine energy, which is a concept that I fully grasped through the book, The Way of a Superior Man, think of it as a bar, right? So 50-50 masculine energy, 50%, feminine energy, 50%. That's roughly the perfect balance. However, as human beings, we have 60 masculine and 10 feminine, mainly for men. For women is 40 feminine, 20 masculine. Women love a man that allows them to be in their feminine essence. Men like women that make them be in their 60% masculine essence. So, in other words, when you're now trying to deduct where you should stand, you need to ask yourself, first of all, what is masculine energy? Masculine energy is conquering, the desire to conquer, the desire to dominate, the desire to just being someone that's a go-getter. You're very action-driven, you're very logical. Being feminine is being very emotional, showing empathy, showing just really being in touch with your emotions, in other words. And you don't have to, it doesn't necessarily, it's meant to be, obviously masculine is for men, feminine is for women, but when it comes to the energy, it doesn't actually have a gender. So you could be a guy and have a very high feminine energy. So you need to find a woman that has a very high masculine energy. Because remember, the bar, you need to find what fits in with what you already are. Now, if you now know you want to be in your feminine energy as a guy, which is very weird, by the way, I must confess, find a girl that's very masculine. And you find there's a lot of girls that are very independent, they don't really, very logical, and they just, I guess they're just raised by men that were just very conqueror driven and whatnot, and they just bounced off that energy, right? Could be a thing. Find what works for you. But what I would say is, for someone like myself, in my masculine energy, I needed to find someone in their feminine energy. So if I found someone that had a lot of masculine energy, I would just be like, okay, this ain't gonna work. But because my masculine energy is quite high, once I discovered who I truly was, it was very easy for me to override someone's masculine energy. I'll give you an example. When it comes to how I found my wife, she is very blunt with a lot of guys, like very, very blunt. Like, yeah. But with me, because my masculine energy is quite high, she now can be in her feminine energy. And that allows her to be her, which is what she wants to be. So in your case, and put it this way, as a guy, you are going to benefit a lot more by being in your masculine energy. Now, in order for you to feed your masculine energy, you need to think of conquering. What can I conquer today? How can I become the best person at my job? Competitiveness. Feed your competitiveness. Feed your drive to just want to achieve things, right? Have a goal and be relentless at achieving that goal. Build your testosterone levels. And let me just make this clear as well. You can't have both. It has to be a real direct focus. And you may lose some of that feminine energy that you may have gained over gossiping over other guys. You will, right? But the benefit is there's too many feminine men anyway. Why would you want to be part of them? There's too many of them. Just go on Twitter. Just go on Instagram. Just go on anywhere on social media. There's guys that want women to pay for their whole rent. There's guys that are happy to just play PS4 the whole day and do nothing with themselves. There's too many of them. There's so much of a supply. And guess what? No one wants them. Not even guys want them. Right? So my point is, go where the demand is and stand out. Right? Number 3, so you've set your boundaries, and you're now, okay, let me make it practical. There's actually a lot more, but like I said, these 4 steps alone can get you the results you want. So I'll share a story. So I was in Ibiza, right? And the guys are like to me, listen bro, you've got to do something. And it's a boys trip and I'm single. And the guys are saying you've got to do something. So I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. And I'm like, no, I want what I want. And if I don't see what I want, then I won't do anything. And then I saw what I wanted. So went for a date, we spoke, and she was like, you know, this isn't happening. Like, we are not going to sleep together. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't really care. Like, I don't need you to sleep with me. I don't care. And when women can sense that, it's like, cling, 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 cling. So my 3rd point is you've understood your identity. I'm so excited for you guys. You've understood your identity. You've set your boundaries. You've opened and closed the door. By the way, bonus tip. When you set your boundaries, if you have to step outside to tolerate someone, get them out of your boundaries. Be in your masculine entity. This aligns with where I'm going. Great. I would work with it. If it doesn't, get it out of your way. Get it out of your way. I'm saying, I've got a sister, right? And I have a very close relationship with her. And I really want her to get married. But some of y'all you're speaking to her. She's saying she's not interested. And your solution to the problem is a paragraph. A paragraph. That is a criminal act. You do not step outside of your boundary box. If I have to step outside to tolerate what you're doing, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You can't help me. Let's call it a day, right? I'm not saying be nonchalant. I'm not saying don't show that you are affected by what's happened. But I'm saying have the with or without you energy. It does you a lot more benefit than you thinking in scarcity. Right? And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I went from being dumped left, right, and center, being friend zoned, to not even knowing what that means anymore. And the only reason why I can share this with you is because I dedicated my life to understand how to figure this out, because I was not about to lose ever again in any shape, way or form. I have lost enough. I was ridiculed enough, and I was tired of it. So I changed things, and I'm sharing with you how I done it. So number one, align. Number two, set your boundaries. And when I mean set your boundaries, if you send a good morning text, and I'm gonna go into more videos where I want to discuss things like that. But if you send a good morning text, great. Do not send a good afternoon without her responding. Do not send a good evening without her responding. It's that simple. If she doesn't respond, you leave it there. You do not diminish you for the sake of her, because she's not going to know that you don't have a lot of women after you. And guess what? No one wants what no one has. If no one wants you, why would someone want to speak with you? If you're struggling with, and this is the craziest thing, I've come from having no hot luck with women to having a date every week, multiple women, well off financially. And honestly, my advice to you is don't ever beg. Don't ever beg. Don't ever step outside of your identity. Like, you set your identity and set your boundaries. Do not step outside of them. This double texting stuff stops today. Put your hand on your chest and say, McDowell, I am done being a dickhead. That's it. Like, do not, because what will happen is, I'll tell you what happens, because I see this every single time. They're gonna go to their male friends, or they're gonna go to their older brother and say, look at this idiot, he double texted me, he doesn't know that I'm not interested in him. Is that what you want? Carry yourself with respect, my brother. Carry yourself with dignity. Do not double text. And I'm saying that because I've done it, and it burnt me, and I am trying to save you time here. Do not double text. Do not over message. Do not double call. Do not triple call. Call once or twice max. If he doesn't pick up, you let it go. It's creepy. No one likes creepy, bro. Yes. But what if she says no, but it's not now? Yeah. My wife, I approached her once and she turned me down. Do you know how I responded back? I said, listen, that's cool. Have a good day, no stress. And guess what? She's my wife now. My point is, no means not now. And just leave it as that. Women are delicate, so treat them as such. Don't overpressure this. Don't do the overpressure thing. What's that? Applying pressure. It's such a damaging thing that is ruining your market. I'm telling you this as someone that had a failing market and turned it around into a ever thriving business. Okay, cool. So embrace the wave of value energy. Now, what I mean by that is you want to ensure that you let her know that, for instance, you're going to eat. You're going to somewhere you would have gone whether she was coming or not. And if you're not into dates, do an activity. I'm saying this as a nice guy. Look, I'm married, so I'm off the game, but I'm giving you guys free game. I used to have women come to me after they've taken the guy money and gone on a date with him. They see it as pure food. And you're paying for their food with your savings in this economy. And someone else is getting the... Come on, bro. When are you gonna wake up? It's time to wake up. It's factually time to wake up. Like, you cannot go out there, do something that you're comfortable doing just to impress someone. Because you're not impressing no one, I kid you not. And I'll give it to you straight. Someone else. It's someone else's turn when you do stuff like that. If you feel like you have to impress the person that knows that is something that he should be getting anyway, right? You're just gonna have to wait until you get there to be in that space. So you might as well get there mentally and psych yourself into being that the guy or feeling like the guy, so that the woman can sense that maybe there's some bravery or confidence in this guy. I'm telling you, I missed a lot of shots. And I can only share this with you, not because I'm better than you, not because I'm better looking than you, not because I've got muscles or I've got running a business or I drive a nice car. This has nothing to do with that. I am only telling you this because it worked for me. The wiggle about your energy gives the woman the confidence that she needs to feel when she's dealing with a guy. Because when she now feels like, oh, do you know what? This guy is just gonna be, he doesn't care. Like, not even like he's not nonchalant, but he's not really desperate. That's the word. Desperation repels. The wiggle about your energy attracts. Never be desperate about anything. In fact, this is, and here's the funniest thing. I think it was the Superior Man again. It said, the way you view the women is the way you're going to view finances. And what it means by that is, when you're able to view finances the same way you view women, as an investment, as something that generates you good income, you're seeing it positively, you're going to have a good experience with women. And I'm telling you now, as someone that's had bad experiences and turned into good experiences, because I got bored. I filled my bucket list. It turned into a joke for me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? I went from thinking I was never going to be able to settle down to having too many options and then settling out with the best one. So that's number 3. Set high standards and rise up to them by turning them into habits. You want a woman that's punctual. Are you punctual? You want a woman that's healthy. Are you healthy? You want a woman that respects herself. Do you respect yourself? So, in other words, get yourself into the frequency of the type of woman you want to attract and become that frequency, so that by the time the woman comes, you're just gonna be matching, right? So don't wait for I used to do this thing where I used to feel like, oh no, but I want the woman to be with me whilst I'm on a climb up. Respectfully, unless you're in Nigeria, in the village, no internet, no phone, and no money, your climb up isn't really a climb up. You're middle class. So you might as well stop being average and start being great from now. And I'm not saying this to you because I didn't feel like that. Because I felt like that. I felt like, no, but I need to know that she's going to be with me regardless. And I'm here to tell you, you may want to be worried about where you are right now. Because what you are is what you're going to attract. So you want to be better, attract better. It's not even a money thing. It's just a person thing. Are you lazy? Are you don't stick to your word? Are you just a serial procrastinator? Fix yourself, improve yourself so that you can attract better options and you can whistle away people that are not right for you. I remember when I cut. This is the craziest thing. I went to the gym, I got my physique, and it wasn't my physique that attracted the most women. It was my mindset. It was how I carried myself. And I noticed that through a friend of mine who, honestly, if not for how he carried himself, he looked like a horse. And some way, somehow, because of how he carried himself and his charisma, that all vanished. It didn't matter. Because it didn't matter to him. So I'm here to tell you that once you become the person that you want to attract, it's going to be much easier for you to have better options and carry yourself in a way that allows you to do that. Now, I don't want to leave you hanging, okay? So on top of making this video, I have created an ebook. Now, in this ebook, I'm going to take you through a 40-day journey where I'm specifically sharing bits of my story, like I did today, in a much more practical detail that allow you to see what you can do on a daily basis in order to improve your current situation. Now, if you're looking for more assistance, I can also help you with that. So I do consultation calls. Now, some of my clients have been able to get over breakups, get over their heartbreaks, get engaged, restore their marriages. I'm a married man, and it's not just my experience that I'm learning from. I have dedicated the past 12 years in trying to figure this out, and that's because it was a personal problem to me, right? So I understood how to communicate. I understood how to deal with arguments. I understood how to deal with household issues. I was lucky enough to have a difficult sister who taught me the ins and outs of how to deal with difficult women. So just aside, I've actually helped a lot of people that have gone through similar issues. So if that sounds like something that you are currently facing, hit me up on Instagram, drop me a DM, or hit me up on LinkedIn, and I'm more than happy to assist you with that. But before I go, I want to give you a bonus tip. All fun and great and it's fantastic. But you see, for you to, I always say, you're probably currently at A, which is where I used to be. And the only difference between me and you is that I just drove to B. We're the same person. I just know how to get girls and get married. Would I be able to do this all over again? Absolutely. Like I said, I had options. But in order for me to become a man of options, I had to go through this 4-step process. But even further than that, I had to look at the engine. You see, in order for me to get from A to B, the engine needs to work, right? And the question is, what engine do I use? Now, the engine that you're supposed to use, the engine you're supposed to optimize is your mindset. And your mindset is not just an engine, it's a garden. And if the garden is clogged, then you're not going to be able to think straight. You're not going to be able to operate at high levels, optimal levels. So what do? Take care of your mind. Unclog. Remove stuff that your mind and your attention. You give me attention to, you paid with attention, and I appreciate that. And honestly, thank you. Thank you for watching this video. And I really hope that this has helped you too. But you see, your mind, especially in this current society and day, is filled with so many options, so many different things that are available to you, this, that. And honestly, the best way for you to deal with your mind is by unclogging the weeds. Unclog the weeds and replace them with positive things. Make your garden look beautiful, pretty, well taken care of. Meditate, clear your head, know what's in your mind. Operate at optimal levels. How can you enhance your mind's performance, right? And this is all the things I talk about. So without further ado, really hope this video has helped. Again, I'm really trying to find my feet in regards to helping you guys in the best possible way I can. Now, again, I've gone back to the basics. So I've literally just figured out, listen, what is it that I've built for me? What problem have I solved that I've just been focusing on improving day by day? And this was definitely one of them that I'm still improving. So as I get better, you get better. As I get more information, you get more information. Okay? So stick around in the journey. And of course, if there's anything I can do to help you as I am right now, great, hit me up. Like I said, on LinkedIn or Instagram. I've already helped people. So again, I'm not cheap. I'll tell you that for free. And that's because my time is worth a lot to me now. I've got family to take care of and I've got things to do. And honestly, this is how I'm helping for free. But if you really want to advance and really get your head around how I actually made things happen so that I can save you the time that I had to spend in gaining all this information and knowledge, yeah, definitely set up a call and we can just sort of take things from there, and then yeah, I can really sort of work on how I can assist you in the best possible way. Okay, now before I go, if you want to find out how I improved myself, how I became disciplined, then I've got some videos for you. Not only I've shared my story, but I've also shared different tips and ideas that can help you grow in your current space before the year ends. Different strategies you can use, for you to improve yourself. But so you've got the ebook that you can read for free for the next 40 days, or you can hop on a call. I can pretty much get you up and running in the space of within 30 days. You'll be good to go, I'll be honest. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure. And honestly, if you've taken anything I've said from today, take this. Your boundaries are so important. They make or break your identity. I had referrals, bro. Do you know what referrals mean? Girls don't like sharing, but they shared if you're worth it. Like, this is a whole different world I'm taking you through. You apply these things, you read these things, you're gonna struggle with different things, but women was not gonna be one of them. It can't be. Look at me, I'm just a normal kid, but I promise you, I was the women stuff easy. I don't get screamed at, shouted, none of that. No girl drama, none of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I've seen so many people deal with stress, difficult situations, and I feel for them. I really do. But this is the thing. Learn how to play the game and play to win. Guys, I was gonna say Alex to this. Right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Guys, like I said, when I learn some discipline stuff, click on that video, and I'll see you on the next video. Stay powerful. Peace.